You're listening to Radio Multiverse.
灰色の瞳に映る影はもろく今を離れるほどの花足が紡ぐ沈む夕日を追いかけたあの日と重なる記憶訪れる炎燃やす
Welcome everyone. Today I'm gonna try something a little different. I'm actually gonna try to remain calm. Because I've been listening to a couple of our episodes and my voice suddenly sometimes gets a little too screechy when I get excited. So this time I'm gonna try to talk a little more slowly and calmly, and maybe people will not run away in complete horror at the sound of my voice when they listen to one of our videos. But in any case, everyone, welcome to Radio Multiverse. I'm, as usual, your calm and collected host, Ramsey. And today we're gonna continue with our game of Savage Tokusatsu with mighty Prism Patrol. And joining me again, it's Dawa, Chris, and Chaz. How's everybody doing?
Your voice is putting me to sleep. Just put a little jazz in it, man. Doesn't have to be screechy, just jazz.
Are you joking, or are you serious?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Ah, good to hear it.
I'm doing pretty good as well. Yay!
Excellent. So now, back to our topic. Are you being serious?
Half serious, half joking, trying to,
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Because before the session started, Ramsey asked us to speak up when Ramsey's getting too excited. So I'm also speaking up if he sounds less excited.
Don't
Because
worry
I'm
about
evil.
it. Okay. In any case, I also would like to point out that I had a pretty busy week, and I probably did not have enough time to prepare for this game. So when I sometimes am like scratching my head, you know why.
No worries, we'll help you if you need
I
any help.
also didn't prepare an introduction, so I'm gonna completely wing this. Alright, let's get started. Last time on Mighty Prism Patrol, our brave Prism Patrollers encountered the Shadox Empire and were forced to fight their foot soldiers, the evil shades, without their powers. Luckily, due to their perseverance, they managed to make it through in the end, but they were then faced with the evil Lord Darkula, who proved to be too much to handle, especially that moment when he grew to giant size. Not even the mighty Prism Robo or Lady Prisma could manage to defeat this giant monstrosity, and they were left with no other option but to flee from planet Earth and look for the fabled planet of Trylon 6 in the hopes of finding the legendary Prism Kaiser, for it was said that only its power could defeat the Shadox Empire. Will they be successful? Let's find out in today's episode of Mighty Prism Patrol, entitled The Hunt for Prism Kaiser. Alright.
Be very, very quiet. We're hunting Kaisers.
Exactly. Also, I'm trying to make every episode title like a parody on a movie title.
The Hunt for Red October. I
Yeah.
get it.
It's not always easy to make a good title. I still can't stop the first time. But it's actually a reference to Beautiful Joe, a game series I very much enjoy, which is also a tokusatsu game, and that also does a similar thing.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, yes, we are going to continue where we last left off. Everybody is still in the Prism shuttle with Pyrrha 5 at the helm. And you are on your way to Trylon 6, and you've been on your way for a couple of days now. You're probably getting a little bit tired and frustrated for being cooped up in this small space. You also don't have a lot of privacy. There's just some bunk beds. I mean, it's a shuttle. It only has one big room.
Is there enough room to train?
Not unless you want to jab your elbow into people time and over.
I don't mind. Oh, actually, Moa doesn't mind that. She's always going to try and get everybody to start training and do a bit of, keep our fighting skills up to...
As time Moa starts to train, Lisbeth remind her that there's not enough room to do it safely.
Yeah, for instance, you hear like the complaint, Letitia like going like, "Ow, no, Moa, stop it! There's not enough room. Ow!"
This is just a part of training. Sometimes you don't have the space for a sidekick. This is good. This will train us to use our elbows and knees.
Ow! Then you hear Pyrrha 5 in the front going like, "Will you dolts quiet down? I'm trying to pilot a ship here!"
You're just going in a straight line. How hard is that?
It's harder than you think. I'd like to see you take over.
But who will train the rest of the team then? Not you.
There's no room for training. Just sit down.
There's always room for training.
Ugh. Also, you guys have been surviving on very bland-tasting rations and water.
Mm.
Space rations.
Oh, space rations. As you now know, Moa is a disciplinarian. She insists that everybody trains, because what else are you going to do?
Also, I have a problem, specifically one for Chaz. You can't stay powered up for days on end, because you sort of have battery power. Your Prismizers need to recharge.
So, Moa is just running around in her pajamas.
Oh, you're still in your... No, you're not in your pajamas.
Oh, wait,
you're
no.
You were at
School
school,
uniform.
remember? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Your school
You guys, I've
clothes.
got a problem though. We wouldn't want to wear the same clothing for day on, day out.
So you're saying we just run around in our underwear? Moa looks Elizabeth up and down and smiles a
One
little.
little problem about that.
Mm-hmm. What?
We've only got one set of underwear each. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm. That is
This
true.
must be getting very awkward for Melvin.
Yes.
Melvin is laying on his bunk bed trying to read a book.
I know. There must be a sink then in this place.
What?
If so, Lisbeth is trying to convince everyone that they need to wash their clothing when they can.
There's a very small toilet area. Very small. It's literally a closet.
Is it?
Then
That's the only place you can have a little privacy in this shuttle.
I thought the shuttle was big. The spaceship we're in.
The shuttle is... You can sort of see it like a military troop transport vehicle, if you know what I mean.
Those things can be rather roomy.
Yes, but there's only one big room where you're more or less all seated. And there are some fold-out bunk beds if you want to sleep.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's more than enough room to train, by the way. But, you know...
Yeah, but if you're in there with 5 people, it can easily get cramped.
True.
Getting
big
back
question.
to the...
Big question. Is a shuttle meant for, for ferrying people from the mothership to planet side and back? Or is this meant for planet hopping?
This is a planet hopping ship, because otherwise you could never make it to Trylon 6.
Then there should be somewhat Spartan living quarters. And
Well, there isn't.
That's the design flaw. That's a huge design flaw.
Oh, well.
I know.
At least there are bunk beds.
So,
You'd
on day-
almost think this ship was designed by aliens or something.
No, not aliens. Idiots.
Idiots, definitely idiots. So,
Yeah,
which
I mean-
Yeah,
who
you can relay that message to Prism High Command when you get back.
The thing is, I do feel so sorry for poor Marvin.
Yeah, that reminds me.
Weren't you su-
Chaz,
weren't you
is Melvin
suggesting that
now
you-
in his untransformed form the whole time?
Because he has to, yes.
So how would everybody react to that, to the realization that their classmate Melvin is the mysterious and slightly dreamy Prism X?
Yes, the nerdiest and most smartest person in school is Prism X.
You can see Moa's face just falling when he sees that. Then he goes, oh. Then he goes, wait a minute. How? But you're a boy. I thought Prismizers only chose women, girls.
It's a long story.
We've got all the time in the world.
That's true. Elizabeth would be interested. Well, actually, Elizabeth would have known because she looked for his bag earlier.
Yeah, she probably had a feeling.
Yeah, so Elizabeth sort of smiles knowingly. I knew that. I knew it was you already.
I can't figure since you were the one who grabbed my Primizer.
She smiles softly and shrugs. Well, what can a girl do?
Huh. This is going to be a little bit awkward.
And then you hear Pira 5 going, I have my theories.
Yes.
But Melvin, you were
But
saying...
at least have some books that keep me distracted.
Melvin, you were going to tell us how the blazes you got your hands on a prismizer that only should react to women.
Well, you remember that the space witch Emerald Emeralda.
Yes.
Emeralda. Good, I'm saying her name right. Okay. Do you remember her?
Yeah. She did science for King Comet.
Well, she was more a magic person. The Meteor Monsters didn't do actual science; they were more magic oriented.
All right. She did magic for the King Comet.
A while ago, when I was visiting my dad in his laboratory, me and him and everybody else in the laboratory. And when I was in her headquarters of our cells and look around, and apparently she had a Primizer for a blue Prism Patroller.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently doing a whole bunch of experiments to it.
Mm-hmm.
I went to go over and the spirit or something of the old Prism Patroller talked to me through it, and then was able to use it.
Yeah, it still sometimes talks to you, but not as often as it used to. She talks less than in the beginning. You're maybe slightly starting to worry about that.
Yeah, she's starting to talk less than she used to. I'm slightly worried for about it, but I feel like she may be going to a better place soon.
Okay, hold up. One lore question. Do our Prismizers talk to us, or is it just Melvin's Prismizer being weird?
You have
Okay,
a sensation of a power, but that's like the prismic path. Or what were we gonna call it again? The luminary path?
Yeah, that one. The Rainbow Road.
Yeah, I forget what we're gonna call it, but basically the dimension of light where your powers come from. You can sense that power, but it's not really a presence.
In that case, there's going to be a raised eyebrow, and Mo goes, okay, so you're saying that your Prismizer talks to you.
Not the Prismizer, it's the spirit of the old prison, the former Prism Blue.
Okay, yeah, that's normal.
Elizabeth just
No, it's
looks
not.
at them.
Leans towards Elizabeth. What do you think? Is he insane?
Elizabeth looks at him and says, "Can you open your mouth and please stick out your tongue for me?"
Sure. Melvin will stick out his tongue.
Elizabeth looks at the tongue, looks down the throat, and then takes his temperature.
Now,
You know I'm not sick, right?
Melvin, do you have any weird... Do your parents and the rest of your family have any unusual qualities? Are they a little bit eccentric?
My father's a pretty normal scientist. He's top of the field, but he's a pretty good guy. I never met my mother though.
Ah, so you know nothing about your mother's side of the family.
My father doesn't really talk about her.
But your father's side of the family, they're all normal people? Or do you have,
No, they're pretty
quirky people?
smart people. Most of them are
No,
scientists
no.
and such.
Not, okay, good, they're smart, good. But are they normal? Are they quirky? Are they freaking... Do they have, unusual touches?
I mean, there's Uncle Bob, but we don't talk about Uncle Bob.
What?
Tell me
Elizabeth-
about Uncle Bob.
He runs an emu farm down in the west.
So
Letitia
that's not weird.
puts her hands on the shoulders of Moa and Elizabeth and goes like, guys, do you really need to do this? You're being kind of mean.
mean?
Elizabeth
I'm not
looks-
saying we think you're insane. I mean,
Elizabeth-
we're trying to, I'm trying to be tactful here.
Elizabeth looks at Moa. Moa,
Hmm?
be dear and leave him alone. You shouldn't annoy him like this.
You're right. Maybe you'll snap and have some kind of hysterics.
Insane.
I'd rather not give him a traumatic episode on an enclosed ship where anything could damage the hull.
I'm not gonna have a traumatic episode.
Yeah, like
I'm so
he's
lucky
punching
to
his
be
head
stable.
through the fuel lines. Yeah, that would be terrible.
I am not insane.
You hear Pira speaking up from behind the helm, and she says, "In this opportunity, you don't have any room to second guess each other. It is very mysterious how he got this prismizer, but you have no choice but to trust each other. There's too much at stake right now."
Very well.
See, Elizabeth nods. Fair enough.
We'll talk about this later when we have defeated Count Darkula.
Also, that was a very un-Pira 5 thing to say of her.
Yeah, Pura 5 is acting more human.
No, I'm
No more
see
level-headed
this-
than usual.
You can see Morishiki just staring at the back of Pure 5's head
Yeah,
and just looking at Elizabeth
Ramsey
and Letitia going,
Ramsey
That's odd.
peers at Pura 5's head and moves closer and looks at the head wires. Pura, are you feeling okay?
No, her head. She has like little wing things on her head, but they're usually like standing down. They look like just part of her hair, but sometimes they stand up.
when she's stressed or angry.
There's like a bird's mating plumage.
Almost, yeah. And she just looks at you and just pretend. Well, not. She like acts like there's nothing wrong, and she says, "I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm just focusing on my task."
Elizabeth starts poking the little sticking up things. Poke, poke, poke.
Ah! Don't touch that! Her face gets a little flustered, and she like slaps you away.
Elizabeth smiles.
How would you feel if I suddenly start like rubbing your earlobe things?
Elizabeth smiles, says, "I would enjoy that."
He shudders slightly. Ew.
Moa glares briefly at Pure 5.
Get away, you human!
And she looks okay. She's fine with it. And, alright. Let's do a little bit of light sparring. Who's up for that?
Me, I'm reading some books here.
Well, books are good, but you need to exercise. Especially here.
Actually, Chaz, there's some real life, very, very highly advanced astronomy equipment in the shuttle. Wouldn't you be more interested in that?
Oh yeah, you can.
I'm going to be using that stuff to study the stars as we're going by.
Yeah. Star charts. There's a lot of them here.
I just thought of something, guys.
Pair 5, oddly enough, doesn't mind Melvin. Because,
Does
he's a lot more quiet too.
Does the ship have gravity, or are we
Yes.
in...
No,
Okay,
it has
good.
artificial gravity.
Good.
Elizabeth looks at Moa and shrugs. I guess I could do some sparring,
Oh, good.
but please don't hurt me.
Well, it's part of the training, so you might get a little hurt.
And when she stands up, she sort of stands and half cowers before Moa.
Moa,
Her eyes become like large doe eyes.
right. Be ready. Here I come. Hiya!
Okay, let's cut this scene here.
I mean, we haven't even started to discuss how we're going to do things like, what we're going to do with our clothes, because if you wear the same clothes day in, day out, it's going to smell.
Yes, that's what I was saying earlier.
Anyway, you guys are all stinky. A few days
Oh,
later,
hold
you're all
on,
very
hold on.
stinky.
Hold on. How we're going to do this? I mean, I've been wearing this the last, 72 hours or whatever. So, how do we do this? I mean, can't really just change into something else.
Pair of 5 just sighs. There'll be more time to worry about that later. We've arrived. And she drops the shuttle out of light speed.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Here it is, Trylon 6." And she's like running, so you see her like typing on the keyboard and some telemetry.
Yeah, you said it right.
Telemetry. There we go. Some
Yes.
telemetry data like pops onto the screen, which probably really interests people like Melvin. And she says, This planet is very barren. I am detecting one powerful signature, though. That is probably where we need to head. Inputting coordinates now. I will have to warn you while you notice the planet coming closer and closer. I will have to warn you that this shuttle does not have enough fuel to make it back to Earth. I do hope that the Prism Kaiser, once you find it, will have some sort of space travel capabilities, or we will be in for a lot of trouble.
Okay, everybody, strap in. Looks at Elizabeth. Especially you. Strap in.
Yes, that seems
What
prudent.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice Letitia going, "Could you please stop?"
Stop. Elizabeth
I agree.
sits down and activates her safety harness feature.
Yes. All right. Yeah, the shuttle is
Safe.
going down.
Mhm.
It goes pretty smoothly, pretty smooth ride, and eventually you suddenly see like a very impressive structure in the distance. It looks like a giant crystal prism.
Just how big is it?
It is the size of the Pyramid of Giza.
Holy cow!
That is big.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, I love that.
And of course, there's a lot of rainbow light surrounding it.
This is what you mean.
Yes.
So
It is
our suits
gorgeous.
have been fully recharged.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but you haven't transformed yet. Don't worry about the icons on the screen.
Yeah, it's fine. Just
So
take
yes,
us to the landing.
Pair of 5 slowly starts setting down the shuttle in the desolate rocky wasteland that is typical for low-budget sci-fi movies that can't that can't afford to have fancy sets made for them. I think
So
you know
basically-
what I mean.
So basically, shooting out in the backyard of in nature reserve that's close by the studio.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of rocks and dust, not a lot of vegetation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and she sets it down, and she's in pair of 5 again says, "Well, this is it, Prism Patroller." She actually turns around her chair this time to face you. This is what Lady Prisma told us to find. Probably the Prism Kaiser will be in there. If I were you, I'd go in transformed. Also, and she looks again at her readings on the screen. She says, "It seems the oxygen levels are slightly lower than what is recommended for your species. So I would definitely go outside transformed."
Very well. Thank you for flying us here. You've done a wonderful job.
Of course, it's my duty. Just
Right.
hurry up. You know that time is of the essence.
All right. So,
Lady Prisma
okay.
depends on us.
So how we're going to do the transformation? Using just flash and be done with it? Yeah, we'll go.
That's for you to decide.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would say just keep it quick this time.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a quick flash of
Prismatic power activate, and everybody says their thing really quickly.
Yes, and there's the split screen, everybody's face, plasma power activate, and just a quick show of bit of our transformation. Suddenly we're all there in our
Whoosh,
uniforms and going, yeah, taking a pose.
And
A group
then
pose.
you see you guys running out of the shuttle towards the giant prism.
Yes, and the prism is just looming large, and we're just running towards it. You see just how tiny we are in the scale of things. So you arrive at the prism, right?
Yep.
Is there a doorway?
Yes, actually, when you get you get closer to it, suddenly a part of the prism slides open.
Convenient.
Elizabeth will just walk into the opening if she can.
Yeah.
Same.
And
I'm
oddly
not
enough,
leaving her alone.
once you go inside, you notice that inside there's a very large hall, and it's made out of some sort of stone, and which doesn't really make any sense because from the outside it looks like the building is completely transparent, but not the inside. So that's a little odd.
Huh.
Elizabeth will look at it and try to take a chipping of the stone for further examination.
It seems very sturdy. You'll need more heavy equipment to remove a piece of it.
Aww.
Also, allow me to better describe where you are right now. The entry hall is massive and is lined with enormous statues of Prism Patrollers. I mean, they are simply massive, and they make it up to the ceiling. These are huge, I don't know, 40 feet tall statues.
Damn, that's big.
Wow.
Yes. And at the end of the hall, there is some sort of large door, and there is another a crystal prism embedded in the wall above it. For the rest,
Okay.
there's not a lot of features in this room.
So as Elizabeth is chipping at the rocks with electro staff, Moshiki Saiko Sahiko is striding forwards towards the prism thing.
As soon as you step close, there's suddenly a rainbow beam that shines out of it, and it passes over
Dodge.
your body.
I try to dodge it.
It's too fast.
I block it.
It's light! It's literally light! You can't block it!
I'm almost tempted to say, I am going to do it anyway, but basically see Moa just, trying to, something comes at her. She leaps to the side, the light follows, she blocks, realizes the light and goes, and relaxes a little. A little.